A recent event that occurred with Blackrock rocked the whole Shiba Inu community, as well as the entire cryptocurrency world. In an instant, they purchased millions. However, here's the big deal. Experts are pointing out something that seems peculiar. In addition, there have been around 3 trillion Shiba Inu documented at the same period. It's possible that this is the piece of the puzzle that's been missing all along. What exactly is going on? And what on earth am I even referring about in this sentence? Please allow me to elaborate. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Actually, it is a very crazy day for Shiba Inu. At what cost? In a word, things went downhill. That is not a question. The weird thing, however, is the way in which the community is responding. You would think that there would be panic, but none. It couldn't be farther from the truth. People have a lot of energy. There's a vibe going around that's electrifying, and to tell you the truth, it seems like something significant is about to happen. And here is when things start to get interesting. Blackrock, the world's largest asset manager, has recently taken a move that nobody anticipated could happen. Their assault was intense. Millions of dollars were invested, and this was not just ordinary purchase. It was the type of transaction that causes people in the cryptocurrency field to turn their heads. When a financial entity like as BlackRock begins investing money in a token such as this one, it is not only a gamble of chance. In most cases, it indicates that they have a perception of something that the rest of the marketplace has not yet recognized. But hold on, things are about to become much more bizarre. At around the same period, there has been a significant influx of Shiba Inu traveling around. Recently, there were about 3 trillion tokens registered. Absolutely insanity. Because of this, everyone was taken aback. The same question is being asked by others in the area at this very moment. Exists a connection between this and BlackRock's move? Could we be watching something far more significant going on behind the scenes? At this point, you may be asking, sure, all of that sounds very exciting. The question is, what is the current price? Do you think it reflects all of this hype? To be honest, not quite yet. According to one expert, it was broken down, and to tell you the truth, he did not sugarcoat it. A significant blow was recently inflicted against Shiba Inu. There was a significant drop in pricing, but there was some opportunity for maneuvering, not at the very top, but rather at a more secure location. From that point on, it has been gradually rising back up. Not in a straight line, not immediately rising, but rather gradually gaining speed via a series of baby increments. All of the dips are somewhat higher than the one before them, which is really a positive indicator. It indicates that purchasers are beginning to re-enter the market and maintain their position. Regarding these rising surges, what is the trading volume? It is not a surprise. Rather than explosive, it is constant. Moreover, this is the portion that inspires optimism. It's not enough to be hype. It is not as simple as noise. Under the surface, there is a significant amount of pressure that is building up, akin to a spring that is being compressed, and if it bursts, it has the potential to launch. But let me tell you something. It is important for you to be aware of something extremely significant that is taking on behind the scenes, despite the fact that the cost has been moving a little bit more slowly as of late. The Shiba Inu is at last beginning to exhibit genuine signs of vitality once again. In addition, it is possible that the whales are the ones making their move this time. According to some recently collected statistics on the blockchain, there has been a significant increase in the number of major transactions that include Shiba Inu. Specifically, we are discussing the kinds of moves that often only take place when major actors are involved. Large deals often include Shiba Inu that are valued more over $100,000, which indicates that normal retail investors are not the only ones participating in these transactions. Whaling territory is located here. Not only that, but when whales begin to move this much and this quickly, there is often a purpose behind it. Here is why it is significant. There had been a relative lack of activity in the huge holder of Shiba Inu for around 1 week. In the beginning of this month, it reached a significant high, but then it stopped. Nevertheless, things are moving once again, seemingly out of nowhere. If you see a sudden surge of activity like that, it is likely a sign that accumulation is taking place. To put it simply, the major players are stocking up while the cost is still relatively cheap. The reason why this moment is so exciting is due to the fact that it is often a precursor to something significant when whales silently gather in large numbers. It is possible that they are preparing for a breakthrough. It's possible that they are aware of something that the rest of the marketplace has not yet recognized. In any case, the reality that we are seeing such a significant amount of activity, particularly at a time when the market is still feeling a bit drowsy, is a significant indication that something significant may be on the horizon for Shiba Inu. In other words, even if the charts may seem to be placid on the surface, there is a whirlwind of activity going on under the surface, and this is precisely how major movements begin. And while we're on the subject of major shifts, Blackrock has just released a tremendous new track that was just recorded recently. In addition, believe me when I say that this is not the type of thing that gets overlooked. A recent transaction involving roughly $250 million worth of Bitcoin was completed by Blackrock, the largest asset manager in the world. That's accurate. More than $200 million was invested directly in Bitcoin. This is not a practice match. This is not a relatively minor wager. A significant amount of funding has been provided by one of the most influential financial organizations on the whole world. In addition, the fact that a massive company like BlackRock is beginning to invest that sort of money in cryptocurrency is not a coincidence. In most cases, it indicates that they are placing themselves ahead of anything significant. At the same time, however, this is where things become very weird. Around the same time, even another enormous move was discovered in the wild. Recent events have resulted in a whale employing 20x leverage to purchase Bitcoin, therefore creating a position that was worth about $200 million. Not only is it a confident statement, but it is also an aggressive belief. Anyone is placing a significant wager that the price of Bitcoin is poised to skyrocket. You don't make a move like that unless you are really certain about it, or unless you have some information that the other players in the market don't have. Now take into consideration the recent events that have been taking place with Shiba Inu. Those trillions of coins that are always traveling around. The sudden appearance of all those significant deals. The unexpected increase in the number of whales. Is it possible that this is connected? You are left with a lot of questions. What might possibly be the reason for these significant shifts in Bitcoin and Shiba Inu? Alternately, are the players who are making good money discreetly preparing themselves in preparation for a significant change in the market? They could be able to notice something that we are unable to. It's possible that they are already aware that a large tsunami is on its way, and they are hoarding their chips in preparation for the inevitable. Therefore, if you take a look at the amount of money that is being distributed at the moment, it does not seem to be random. One may say that it is preparedness. All of the symptoms are there, including the influx of money from institutions, the placement of leverage bets, and the accumulation of whales while costs are still relatively low. It is the type of energy that is like the quiet before the storm. A question that has to be asked is whether or not we are on the verge of something aggressive and explosive. Mainly due to the fact that if this is the setup, then what is supposed to happen next may be one of the most significant events for Shiba Inu in this year. What's more, Shiba Inu is really looking more promising than it ever has before, especially when you consider the long term. The wider picture is portraying a completely different tale, despite the fact that there is a lot of price activity that is occurring in the near term. The fact that curiosity in Shiba Inu is not diminishing is among the most interesting aspects of the situation. As a matter of fact, it is still gaining momentum. A significant achievement was reached by Shiba Inu just now. By this point, the total number of distinct addresses that are in possession of the token has surpassed 1.5 million. What you see there is not only a number, rather it is an indication of how far the community has extended. There is an increasing number of individuals who are participating, retaining their tokens, and being a part of this expanding ecosystem. Moreover, here is the thing. There is a correlation between the number of holders and the strength of the foundation. Price is no longer the only factor to consider. Distribution, acceptance, and the development of genuine network strength are all important factors. The Shiba Inu breed contributes to the functioning of the whole ecosystem when it is owned by a greater number of individuals. Supporting future decentralized initiatives, enhancing liquidity, and making things seem more linked and alive are all examples of what may be accomplished. Despite the fact that the number of holders continues to increase, the attitudes within the community are becoming more bullish. On a daily basis, it seems as if the energy is increasing. The Shiba Inu army is not only maintaining their ground, rather they are growing. What about that type of natural development? To put it another way, it is precisely the type of thing that lays the groundwork for sustained success. As a result, although some individuals may be only focusing on the charts at the moment, others who are really intelligent are looking forward. Since what are we seeing at this moment? It is preparing the basis for something that is far more significant. However, what are your thoughts on this matter? Leave a comment down below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up to see our most recent material, share it, and subscribe to the channel.